Just waiting for our yogis to join us this morning. Good morning, everyone. Give people a couple minutes. Felix is joining. Elizabeth is here. Fantastic. Felix, I hope you take my class this morning. Just giving everybody a chance to get situated here. Have a technical question. Felix, maybe you can answer it. I have some music playing right now in the background, so I'm just playing it live here with everybody. How does it sound? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. My little cousin the other day when I was teaching kids yoga told me that my music sounded like grocery store music. But I just went a little bit, so I may play some today. Great. We've got Felix, we've got Pam, waiting on Debbie. I'm gonna pause the music for a second. You guys can hear me and see me? How's everybody's week so far and weekend? Weekend's good? Thumbs up. Okay. It's 10 a.m. Not sure if Debbie's going to join us or a few other people will join us a little bit later, but I figured this morning you all will start standing. I'm glad it's the weekend too, Pam. So glad. And the sun is coming out down here in Southern California. Felix has been biking more. You going to do some yoga this morning? I hope so. Cool. All right, so we're going to start standing, everybody, in mountain position, facing, if your mat is going the full length, stand about, I'd say right about the middle of your mat here. Going to ground down through all 10 toes. Draw your tailbone down. Draw your shoulders back, palms facing this way in front of you. And just take a moment here to ground yourself. Relax your face. Relax your shoulders. Draw your navel in. Spine is long. Owning this position of mountain pose. Now take a big breath in through your nose here in mountain pose. Inhale. Open your mouth. Release it. Exhale. Another big breath in here in mountain pose, Tadasana. Take it in. Open your mouth for your exhale. Another big inhale here in mountain pose, owning your space. And then exhale, release it. Fourth time. Through your nose. And this time, if you can, exhale through your nose. One more time, using our breath through your nose. And then exhale through your nose. Really want to talk a lot about cultivating energy today. I've been thinking a lot about energy, the vibes we put out, and how energy, we attract good and bad energy, and we can cultivate really good energy just even in our home space at home. Lately I've been finding little things that I had forgotten about, such as some of my stuff here, and I've been placing it out to make myself feel comforted during this time. So We can do that with our breath too. And we're gonna try a couple of breath exercises just to add some clarity, some energy, and balance to our lives this morning. I think everybody needs that right now. So, still here in mountain pose. On your next inhale, reach your arms up, palms facing each other, up high to the ceiling, and actually take your gaze up for a second here. And I want you, as you take your gaze up, start to imagine the kind of energy or something that represents positive energy for you. Imagine that. Close your eyes here and just imagine that thought, whatever it is. Bring your hands into heart. And again, give some thought to whatever that is. But whatever energy, whatever positivity you want to bring into your life right now or into the world. Another time, inhale, reach your arms up. And this time on your exhale, hinge from your hips, swan dive with your arms going out ever so slowly, all the way down. Your head hanging to the floor to come into forward fold here. You can bend your knees a little bit. Hips are up high. Relax your neck down to the floor. And breathe deeply. Just place your hands wherever they fall. Feeling the stretch in your back body. For your next inhale, take your heart forward for a flat back. Pressing your hands against your shin here, gaze is down. For halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down, forward fold. Soft bend to your knees to protect your lower back. Inhale, rise back up. Drawing your chest forward, engaging your back here. Flat back, for halfway lift. Exhale, back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands. You can even place them out a little bit in front of you here and step your left leg back to come into a lunge here. Bring your left knee down to kiss the mat. Slowly rise up. And wherever your hands feel comfortable right now, you can place them just above your thigh here for the bent leg. Or you can place them on your hips. Draw your tailbone down. While you lift your heart and your head. On your next inhale, reach up your arms all the way up, the same way they were in mountain pose. And slowly begin to bend your arms, lean your heart back if you can, to draw in all that positive energy for a nice back bend here. Another inhale, reach your arms up. And then one more time, draw them back to bend. Hold this for a couple of breaths. Reach back up. Frame that foot, step it back to come into tabletop position. So we're here in tabletop position. We'll sneak in a couple of cat-cow stretches to warm up our spines here. So your knees are directly underneath your hips, hands underneath your wrists, underneath your shoulders. Spine is neutral. On your inhale, lower your belly, lift your heart for cow. And then exhale, round your spine for cat. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, pull your navel One more inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale. And then exhale, round for cat. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Spine is neutral. Tap your toes, lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Now in this first down dog, you guys, you can pedal out your dog. Keep a soft bend to your knees here in down dog. Lift your hips up high to create an inverted V shape. While you press your hands, keep pressing all 10 fingers down into the mat. Feet are hip distance apart, hands shoulder width. Everyone take a big breath here in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then on your exhale, open your mouth, side out. One more big inhale. Exhale. Slowly take your left foot to the top of your mat to come into a lunge on the left side since we did the right side. Bring that right knee down to kiss the mat. And slowly rise up to a lunge. You can take your hands just above the top of your thigh here. Drawing your tailbones down. Trying to square your hips forward. Breathe deeply. Knee is stacked over the ankle. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up. Palms facing one another. Slowly bend your knee, bend your elbows and draw your heart up. Cultivating that good energy, open heart, and then bring your arms back up. Inhale, bring your arms out. And then exhale, back up. One more time, arms out. Exhale, back up. Frame that bent leg, bring that knee back. Coming back to tabletop. And this time we'll do wagging the dog, the tail. It's just what I call it. So we did cat-cow earlier. So we're gonna take your head to look to the right. Trying to look at your right hip and then take it back to neutral and then take it to the left. And your left hip slightly to the left. Back to neutral. Right gaze back to neutral. Gaze to the left. One more time. Neutral. Look right. Hip to the right. Core is engaged. Gaze forward. Hip to the left. Gaze to the left. Back neutral. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. I'm warming up already to come into downward facing dog yet again. Down dog might feel a little bit looser now. Keep pressing all 10 fingers and all 10 toes into the mat, lifting your hips up and back. And then this time in down dog, slowly begin to bend your knees as if to bring your chest to your knee if you can. No biggie if it's not going there right now. And then slowly straighten them back out. One more time, bend your knees here in down dog. Gaze is down. Pressing all 10 fingers into the floor. And then slowly straighten your legs yet again. Next time, inhale. Bend your knees. Gaze down. And then slowly straighten them back up. Look between your hands, come to step between your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Gazes forward. Exhale, fold back down. Root into your feet, rise all the way up, coming back into mountain pose. Hands into heart. Arms down by your side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge from your waist, fold over. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, pressing into your shins, heart is forward. Exhale, plant your hands. This time, step your left leg back, right leg back. Come to the top of a push-up, creating a long line from your head to your heel. Pull your tummy in. You can bring your knees down to the mat. That's more comfortable for you to modify. Take a big breath here. And on your exhale, come all the way down. Knees, chest, chin to set up for cobra pose. Press the tops of your feet, your toenails into the mat. Draw your hands beside your rib cage here. Gaze is forward and long. Pelvis grounded down into the mat. On your inhale, lift your heart ever so slightly for a baby cobra. And then exhale, lower back down. One more inhale, rise. Exhale, fall. Inhale, lift to your back bend, baby cobra. Exhale, fall back down. Fourth time, rise up, pressing the tops of your feet into the mat. Knees are just hovering above the floor, and then back down. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. That feels really good. I don't know about you, but I needed this. So inhale, look between your hands, come to step between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Root down into your feet, rise all the way up. Mountain pose, hands into heart. Inhale, look up, reach up. This time, lead with your heart, swan dive, all the way down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, and hold. Here's an option. You can go all the way down to your mat, or you can go lowering halfway for chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath here, and down dog, everybody from wherever you are right now. I know we got Sacramento in the house. And then exhale. Inhale. Take all in the good stuff, the good shit. Exhale the bullshit. Look between your hands, come to step between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root into your feet, rise up. Mountain pose, nice and tall, hands into heart. Take a breath here, take your moment. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, melt back down, hinge from your hips, fold over. Inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Lower all the way down or halfway, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lift up for cobra, and then exhale. Push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up, and then exhale, step into your right thumb, keeping that back left leg lifted on the ball of your foot, slightly lifted to rise up into crescent lunge. Now, if you need to shorten your stance here in crescent lunge to get a nice foundation, take time to do so. You need to have your hands just beside your hips here, encouraging them to stay square forward. Knee is stacked over the ankle. Heel is lifted. Rooting your tailbone down with that back leg extended and bent. Relax your shoulders and lift your arms up high. hold this for a couple of breaths here. Slowly bend your arms, open your heart, chest is back. And then exhale, bring your palms back up above you. Frame that front foot with your arms, and then step your right leg back to come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up this time. Step it to your left thumb. Back heel stays lifted. Rise up, crescent lunge. Front knee is stacked over the ankle, so that front leg is bent. Shorten your stance if you need to for balance. Inhale, draw your arms back, and then exhale back up. Arms bent, back up. Arms bent. One more time, back up. Slowly bring your arms back down to the mat to frame that front foot. Step it back. Come back into downward facing dog. Big breath here in downward facing dog, and exhale. Inhale, look between your hands. Come to hop or step between your hands. Bend your knees as if you're sitting back into a chair. Swing your arms back and around you to come into chair pose. Knees are stacked over your ankle. Draw your tailbone down while you lift your chest up. Stay in chair for 2 more breaths. Bring your hands into heart, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, and just step it straight back to downward facing dog, or if those of you are feeling ambitious this morning, you can take the flow. Take a breath here in down dog, and then side out. Inhale, sweep your left leg up. Step it to that left thumb again to rise up for crescent lunge. Breathe in and breathe out. And then on your next exhale, bring your hands into heart. Open up to warrior 2. So your feet placement are going to change. Heel and arch are in alignment. Your hips are open here. Tee your arms out. And take your gaze forward for warrior 2. Hold warrior 2. Just going to open the window a little bit here because it's getting warm. Cool. Got a few people joining us. Jean. Hey, I hope you guys are practicing. Warrior 2. Gaze just over your second finger if that feels comfortable for you. Try to level your hips here. Sink down into that bent leg. And feel the empowerment of this pose. Talk about drawing positive energy, what we were talking about at the beginning of the class. This is fierceness right here. Slowly begin to take that back arm down, lift the front arm up to reverse your warrior. You can take your gaze down to your foot or up to your hand, whatever feels comfortable for you. Breathe, feeling the stretching in the side of your body here. Rise back up, warrior 2. Slowly windmill your hands to frame that front foot. Step it back to down dog or take the flow. So come to plank, lower knees, chest, chin all the way down or halfway. Inhale to your back bend, and then exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. Cool. Sweep your right leg up this time, step it to your right thumb. Keep that back leg lifted to rise up to crescent lunge on the right side this time. If you have it, you feel like you have it, you can encourage a small back bend here while your palms are facing one another. Slowly begin to put that back leg down. Adjust your feet to come into warrior two. Heel and arch in alignment. Arms are teed out. Hips are level. Breathe in. And breathe out. Reverse your warrior. Feeling the stretch here in your side body. Cartwheel your hands, frame your front foot. Step it back, down dog, or take the flow. Those of you who are taking the flow, I'll meet you in down dog. Once you're in down dog, look between your hands, come to step between your hands. Bend your knees, come back to chair pose, Utkatasana. Draw your tailbone down, try to bend a little bit more if you can here. Engage your core. On your next inhale, bring your hands into heart here in chair. And take a twist to the right. So take your left elbow outside of your right thigh, forward twist. Try to keep your knees in alignment here while your spine is still lengthened. With each inhale and each exhale, deepen the twist if you can. Come back to chair and then take your twist to the left. Breathe in, back to chair. And then exhale, fold over to flush it out. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Take the flow. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift up, cobra. And then exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in here in down dog. And then exhale, release it. Another breath in. And let it go. We'll do crescent lunge one more time before we move into balance. So inhale, lift your left leg up. Toes pointing down, step it to your left thumb. Back heel stays lifted, rise up. Crescent lunge. Breathe in, breathe out, open up, hands into heart, warrior two. Breathe in and breathe out. Reverse your warrior. If you have a partial bind here, you can take your right arm just over your bent knee. Feeling the stretch here. Slowly come back to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands, step back, down dog, or plank and take the vinyasa flow. Once you're in down dog, inhale, reach your right leg up. Step it to your right thumb, back heel stays lifted. Root down into your feet, nice foundation, rise up, crescent lunge. Take a big breath in here in crescent lunge and find, if you can, a small back bend here. Open up to warrior two. Heel and arch in alignment. With each breath in and each breath out, try to expand a little bit more through your fingers. Reverse your warrior. Small bind if you choose to here. Just make sure that your feet are still in alignment, rooting down into your back foot. Front knee is Front leg is bent. Cartwheel your hands. Step back to downward facing dog. Or take the vinyasa flow. Slowly look between your hands. Come to step between your hands. We're just going to come up, back up to mountain pose, our foundation where we started. You need to grab a little bit of water or a towel. By now, you've probably got some heat going through your body, which is great. So we're here in mountain pose, and it looks like I've got a lot of people watching. I hope you guys, that means you're joining us today. No watching and not doing, okay? So I've got my regulars. I've got like 7 people who've been practicing with me on the regular, but then I have some other people tuning in, so I hope you guys are moving. I'm gonna call you out on it if you aren't. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So here we are in mountain pose. Plug all 10 toes into the mat. We're gonna do a little bit of balancing. This is gonna be fun. So ground down into the left foot here. I'm gonna start on the right leg since this leg is closest to the camera here. Just lift up your bent right leg right here. And just notice what this feels like balancing on one leg, okay? So grounding down into that foot that's into the mat. Spine is nice and tall. Crown of your head is lifted. Your leg is bent. You're balancing. Cool. If you think you got a little bit more juice, start sending that leg back. Foot is flexed, toes are pointed down. Start sending it back. You can have your hands any way you choose to help your balance. You can have them out like an airplane. You can have them into heart, or you can swing them in front of you. So your leg is bent. Start sending that bent leg out. Heart is pressing forward to come into warrior 3. Doesn't matter how high you have it lifted. You can have a soft bend to the standing leg. Slowly bring your hands down to the mat to come into standing split here. So your feet is still pointing down here in standing split. Intent your fingers or have all 10 fingers here into the mat. Bend that leg just behind the standing leg. Bend down to curtsy for yoga curtsy or squat. Oh yeah. And then extend it back out. One more time. Bring that leg in to the bent leg, yoga curtsy. Extend it back out. Bring that leg back down. The extended leg, bend into both knees, rise back up. Mountain pose. Hope you guys are loving this. And if you fall out of it, no biggie. Just start where you left off. So inhale, lift the left leg this time. Just bent, getting the feeling of what it feels to balance on the right leg. Have a soft bend to this right leg with the left leg bent. If you just want to stay here today, by all means. If you feel like you have a little bit more, start sending that left leg out behind you. Toes are pointing down, heart is forward to come into warrior 3. Breathe here, find a focal point. Forgot to mention that. Slowly bring your arms down to come into half split. So you're here in half split, heart is forward. You can even play with your half split, taking one arm for the standing leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Start to bend that extended leg behind the standing leg to squat, yoga curtsy, and then come and bring it back out. Bend that leg back in, back out. One more time, third time. Back out, place it down, root into your feet, rise all the way up. Come back into mountain position, cool. Let's do a little vinyasa flow in between our next balance series. So inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge from your waist, fold over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Lower all the way down or halfway. Inhale to your back bend. And then exhale, roll back. Downward facing dog. Pull up between your hands, come to step between your hands. And let's do dancer's pose. I want to do dancer's pose from this way because I feel like I have a better focal point in this direction. Because this is facing the street, which can be a bit tough because there's so much stuff going on. So, okay, so root down into your standing right leg. Just how we were earlier, bend your left leg here. You can have a soft bend to the standing leg, bend your left leg. Take the inner part, you can take the inner part of your foot on the outside of it, so you got a hold of your foot. So this is a nice runner stretch. Heart is open, palms are facing forward. Hips are square, you've got a nice foundation here. If you feel like you have a little bit more, start sending that arm out in front of you that's loose while you press your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot to come into dancer's pose. Find a focus, pushing, and then slowly bring it back in. Arms up. If you guys are still holding it, good for you. I'm going to move on to the other side. Just catch up whenever you can. So root down into that leg, bend the right foot, balancing as we were before to set up for warrior three. Take your right hand just outside of the foot. Extend the left arm forward here for the opposite side. Got a nice foundation, square your hips forward, lift your chest, relax your shoulders, and then slowly begin to push that foot into your hand into your foot. Find a focus for dancer's pose. Hold dancer's pose for a couple breaths. Fall out of it like me, no biggie. Just try again. Slowly, ever so mindfully, come up. Cool. How's everybody feeling? I hope great. So we're going to come to Prasarita. So you guys are facing me here. Prasarita. Feet are a little bit pigeon-toed inside of each other. Inhale, reach your arms up here. And then on your exhale, going to hinge from your waist, leading with your heart to fold all the way down. You can take your hands just in front of your feet here. And just releasing all of that work we just did. Bend your knees, slowly come up. And we'll just change our arm position. So inhale, reach your arms up here in Prasarita. This time when you land on the floor, you can take your fingers around your two big toes, feeling a stretch in your back body. So hinge from your waist, ever so slowly, mindfully with your breath. Come back down here to Prasarita. On this third time, I can't see you guys, but if you have a headstand in your practice, this is a great prep for the headstand. So on the third time, I'm going to change the hand position. But if you're feeling like you want to get upside down this morning, go for it. Slowly begin to come back up. Bend your knees, rise back up. Everybody take a big breath in, reach it up, and then release it back down. So interlace your hands, if you can, behind your lower back here. Lift your heart up, and then exhale, hinge from your waist. Fold all the way down. Feeling a nice stretch here. 2 more breaths here in this fold, wide leg stance. Slowly come back up. Stay there in mountain pose. I didn't realize I wanted some music. We'll start music now with the cool down. Can you guys hear this music? I hope you like it. It's real chill. So, we're gonna come all the way down to the mat to come into squat position. So your heels are into each other, toes are out. Hands are into heart position here. Just opening up our hips here. I saw a heart, so I'm hoping that that means you hear the music and you like it. Eventually, I'm going to send a playlist to you guys. You can play on your own. So we're here in squat position. Breathe deeply. Squat pose, Sambrasana. And then slowly, rooting down into your tailbone, begin to rise up. This is a hard one to come back into standing position. On your exhale, take it back down. Try to keep your spine long here, hearts forward. And then slowly come back up. I'm going to do it a third time. Lower all the way down.
Love at first sight. I thought that was just movie stuff until last Saturday. Because
Sorry about the commercial. And then slowly come back up.
Aaron's delivered my brand new Samsung.
Cool. How's everybody doing? Inhale, reach your arms up.
Payments, no credit hassles.
And then exhale, fold over this time. Start to walk your feet in. And we're going to come to a seated position here. So with your mat pretty long here, staff position, bring your flesh out from underneath you here. Toes are up. And on your inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, hands from your waist, fold over. Hold that pose as you're folded. Hold that pose while you're folded. Breathing into it. Wherever you land is where you land. And then slowly come back up. Cool, we'll do it another time. So bring your flesh out from underneath you. Feet are flexed here. Crown of your head up high. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, fold over. Breathing into every nook and cranny that still feels kind of tight. Or maybe that's holding on to some old energy that doesn't serve you. Breathe into that and then release it. Slowly rise back up. We're going to come down to our back here. Do a few more heart openers and bridge, maybe some core work before we call it a day, shall we? So we're here with your back body grounded onto the mat. Bring your feet just behind your bottom here. So you should be able to feel the back of your ankles with your fingers here. As your knees are going forward, your feet are going forward. Back body is grounded into the mat. Pelvis rooting down. Chest is open, heart is open. On your next inhale, lift your bottom, your lower back, mid back, upper back, to come into bridge. And tuck your chin, lifting your heart, pressing down into the mat as you lift up. We'll hold this for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slowly come back down to the mat. Hug your knees in, your right knee, your left knee in. Rock side to side, giving your lower back, a little self-massage. And slowly release your foot back down. We'll set up for second one. So on the second one, you can change your hand position if you choose, interlacing your hands once you lift underneath your lower back. So on your next inhale, lift up. Clasp your hands if you're choosing that variation. Back body is lifted. Your bottom is lifted. Engage your core. Breathe deeply. We'll hold this for 1, 2, 3, and then come back down. On the third time, if wheel is in your practice, place your hands just beside your ears here. Make sure that your feet are both going forward to you in both directions. You're going to lift up. Same principle. Feet are going forward, not turning them out. Back body's lifted. Try to straighten your arms. Hold this for 1, 2, 3, and then slowly, ever so mindfully, come back down. Bring your knees into chest. Massaging your lower back. Opening up to happy baby. Take a big breath here in happy baby. Hands outside of your foot, or if you can hold onto your big toes. Big breath here. And then exhale. Another big breath here. And exhale. So we're going to rise up and let boat position be our foundation. Bend your knees and have them just extended in front of you like this, like so, as if you're a boat. Take your hands, clasp them behind your head, the back of your skull. Extend your left leg out long. Take your left elbow and touch your bent right knee. Come back, both legs bent. Take your right elbow, extend your right leg long, touch your left side. Come back in, touch, in, touch, in, touch, in, touch, in, touch, in, touch, touch. 2 more. 1 more. 1 more. Hold, come back. Hold your arms out. Legs bent. Slowly cross them. Come to a seated position just to rest for a minute. And we'll do a few more. How are you guys doing? If for whatever reason during this you're feeling like you don't want to go anymore, you can take child's pose or come to rest on your back. This will be it before we get into our final resting pose. So bend your legs, come back into that seated, modified boat position. Arms are out. Interlace your hands behind your skull. Extend your right leg out. Take your right elbow to the left. Come back. Left, back, right, back, left, back, right, back, left. Breathe. Breathe. Two more. One more. Cross. Come back to seated position. This time, come all the way down on your back. And reach your legs up to the sky here. Feet are engaged, extending them long. And take your arms just underneath your lower back here. pressing the palm of your hand into the floor. So arms are down on the floor, legs are lifted up high, and slowly begin to lower your legs with each breath in and out, all the way down to the floor. Just as you get to just above it, hovering, come back up. Lower, all the way down, and then come back up. Lower, all the way down, breathing in and out, and then come back up. Lower, all the way down. Before you touch, one more time. 2 more times. Lower, lift, lower all the way down, lift, lower all the way down, and lift. One more time, all the way, hover, crisscross, 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 criss. Bring your legs up, and then give yourself a nice hug for that. Release your arms and your legs, both directions, as if someone's pulling them from both ends. On your inhale, reach out, and exhale, release it. Inhale, reach out, and exhale, let it go. One more inhale, reaching both directions. Let it go. You are on your backs right now. And I want you guys to take a Shavasana. So lay your back body all the way down. Legs are out the width of the mat. Palms are facing up to the sky. Close your eyes here. And let go of everything you just did. Surrender to this moment. By resting. Start to draw some attention back to your breath. You can wiggle your toes and your fingers. And then when you're ready, you can roll over, just bringing your knees in to the side, stacking them on top of each other, and come into a nice fetal position here. Just resting the side of your face on the top of your hand. Just taking comfort in what it feels like to be home and to feel safe. And to have good energy all around you. Giving some thought back to what I mentioned at the beginning of the class. Cultivating positive new energy and thinking about whatever it was that brings you positivity and good energy and newness Slowly come back up to a seated position. Hope everybody is feeling really good now. And before I leave you guys, I always like to leave you with a quote. You know, I love a good quote, especially when it's related to whatever it is we're doing. So bring your hands in the heart. Just thank you guys so much for showing up, practicing with me. We've been doing this for a couple weeks now, and I have regulars, and it's really cool. It just shows you just the power of yoga, the power of connection, and the power of positive energy, because most of these people are people who I had a connection with face to face, and look how we're still connected even though we can't see each other. You can see me, I can't see you, but I feel you. So thank you so much. Hands in the heart. Big breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. Another big breath in, you guys. Open your mouth. I'll leave you with this quote while you're still seated there. I read this morning. I love this book, by the way, Words That Matter. Anyway, here it is. It's by Paul Pearsall, who says, "Surviving is unrelenting perseverance that brings us back to where we were before our crisis. Thriving is a kind of super resilience that goes far beyond recovery. Thrivers know when it's time to disengage from a challenge and set new goals. Sometimes creative surrender is a better policy than perseverance." So with that, we were talking about cultivating positive energy and bringing newness and focusing on that. Thank you guys so much. That one really spoke to me this morning. Thanks for practicing with me. I'll be doing a couple more classes this week, and I saw some new people tuning in, so that means a lot to me. The music situation, we'll figure that out later, but I actually kind of feel it was better without music. You can play music wherever you are, so thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. It means a lot. Your virtual presence means a lot. Namaste. What up, B? Hey, Jonathan. Thanks, you guys. I will post this on my yoga story page, and probably try to figure out how I can maybe put this class to my YouTube page too. So if you haven't followed me on YouTube, I just started my YouTube channel. It's called Yoga with Lonni. Would love it if you guys subscribe to my channel. And I have some fun stuff planned over the next couple of weeks. So if you tune in to one of my classes, you actually might be able to win something. And one more thing. This is free, but donations are accepted at my Venmo account, which is Lonni-HR. So if you guys want to leave a donation there, just leaving it up to whatever for people, because I know right now is a tough time for a lot of people because they're not working or they lost their job or trying to make ends meet. So I hope that this is a space for you where you can come and show up and enjoy yoga with me. And I hope you feel better afterwards. That's the main thing. So thank you so very much. Have a great Saturday. Hi, Trinity. Bye, guys.